everyone.
Good
Welcome
morning.
to another stellar edition of What You Put In, our daily class for personal empowerment and budding leaders. Great to see everyone today. Tara, welcome.
Welcome, my friend.
How's everything going?
Things are going. Yeah.
Well, things are going. We took a step outside into the real world yesterday. Tara got some news about school getting started.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take the opening take today? You want to start us off?
No, I can't.
Okay.
I'm sorry. No.
That is the opening
today.
take. I will start the opening takes then.
Thank you.
Last night was a tough night. I am realizing real quick how much of an extrovert I am and how difficult this time is becoming. We've been in social isolation, Tara and I, in this condo for one full week now. It was last Friday that since we've seen a person. It's been one full week. Now we see each other and this is wonderful, and I couldn't get through this without her. But man, I'm like, I need to just see random people. I just need to be in some spontaneous dance party somewhere. That's how I get my fill and recharge. So I had a tough night last night. I was just head buried in pillows, wanting to just cry myself to sleep. And the news isn't like all that positive either. I'm looking at the news. I'm trying to find something to latch onto. And my opening take today is like, this is going to be an ebb and a flow here. I think we're going to have a lot of ups and downs on this roller coaster of where our current world circumstance is.
Yeah.
That's my opening take. You got any opening takes?
I guess I can add to that. So I'm an extremely introverted human being. So being by myself and staying away from others actually isn't affecting me like it affects others. But this guy right here who is with me all day, every day, is not like that at all. So just watching him like kind of lose it a little bit because he needs more people around him, it's very hard for me to understand. But so it's just one of those things. I mean, it's natural when you get stuck in a room with someone for a week, no matter how much you love them, you just start learning new things about them and trying to figure out new ways to just interact and have that relationship. Because to me, honestly, it's like having a brand new puppy. I'm like, I don't know how many times I need to let this thing out. When do I need to feed it? I don't know what to do. But this one needs to get let out, and he needs to run around. He needs to go for walks. So we're learning this. We're learning this.
Seriously, I need to be. You gotta throw me some frisbees or something.
Yeah.
But we're hanging in there, and I think that we're excited to share with you our topic and theme and lesson today, which is perspective, because I think this is the thing that's resonated the most and what I personally need most right now. And so I think, as a wise person in a book once said, we teach best what we most need to learn. And so today I'm excited to share with you a lesson on perspective. First, let's see who we got here. I see Trish. Oh man. Thanks, Trish. Love it. Good to see you. Tina's in. Lexi Levine. What an amazing analogy. Thank you, Lexi. Great to see. Oh, a lot of people waving at us. I love it. Hey, let's start today with a little bit of where are you all from? Just type in the town that you are tuning in from to what you put in. I'd love to see. Yesterday we had the huge Hopedale contingency.
Yes.
Thanks to Miss Griffin, who just threw down the Hopedale crew.
Right.
And my alma mater, my hometown, would love to see that. We got Maine represented. Hampton, Maine. We got Luxembourg is back. Hopedale's killing it again. Hopkinton, Hopedale. Wow, this is awesome.
Brighton, woo.
Brighton, Mass. We got France. People
Maine.
from all sorts of countries, states. Paxton, Maryland.
Wow. Stuck at UConn.
Oh, she's at
Wow.
UConn. Yes. Ina's at UConn. We got more Hopkinton, Boston. This is awesome. What Watertown? Fantastic. Welcome, Watertown. I see a lot of cool flags. That looks like Luxembourg, France. We had a viewer from Australia yesterday.
Wow,
Holy cow.
cool.
NYC, New York is in. I love it.
Natick, woo!
Natick, Mass.
Yes.
Let's go, Natick. So Tara got some news yesterday. Natick's going to be starting some school next week.
Starting in Richmond.
Starting in Richmond, not school. Can't call it school.
Nope, connecting with our students and our classrooms, which I'm super excited to do, to check in on them. I just miss them very much, and I'm just so concerned about everyone and everything.
Yep, I hear you. Schools are starting to make plans to get student engaged in curriculum again. So that will start next week. Love to give a shout out to our DSGS family, Dover Sherborne Girls Soccer. Let's go.
Let's go.
If anyone's from there, we'd love to see you. And I think it's time for gratitudes.
All right.
Let's jump right in.
Let's jump right in.
Hopefully you got your journals ready and you have made it a daily habit. Remember to set that implementation intention and be like, look, I am writing my gratitudes. I'm going to focus on what I do have. And grab your journals, write down some gratitudes. Also, put them in the comments, something you're grateful for. We're going to read some of your gratitudes today and talk about ours as well. Tara, you got a gratitude to start us off today?
Yeah, so my gratitude this morning is just my family and my support system during this time. We have a little text message group thread thing. Still working on my tech words here. With my mom and my sister and my cousin, and we just text each other every morning and check in. And I don't know where I'd be without them. I love them so much, and I can't see them right now, and so it just is really helpful to just do a little check-in. So remember all those people in your life that you're thinking about, or just your friends in general. And like, we have so much technology nowadays, so just send them a text or do a FaceTime or whatever they call them, or like some sort of chat with your loved ones and your friends and check in on them, because we actually have time right now to do that and have those check-ins. So I am super thankful for that support group that I have, and super thankful for you, who is also part of my support group as well.
Thank you. Let's see what you guys got for some gratitude. We're grateful for today. Lexi, L. Levine 216, coffee.
Yes.
Gotta be grateful for your coffee.
Making sure your boss, making sure his employees are safe when we have to go into the hospital. Yes, absolutely. And just thankful for all those healthcare workers and anyone going into hospitals or stores or anything that are trying to help make the lives of everyone else better around them, even though they're sacrificing a bit of themselves or putting themselves in a little bit of danger. So thank you to everyone who is doing that for us right now.
Ina Kagan, grateful for music, the power of music right now. Absolutely. We're using music around here. We have our today we feature a little Dave Matthews Band on our intro. Chocolate chip pancakes from Trish Live Today. Sophia says, my sister in Worcester, music and pears. You must be a big pear. I have a pear. I might eat a pear later.
Yeah.
We have one pear left. We're trying not to go to the grocery store, so we're like rationing our fruit. I think we might dive into that final pear later, Tara. Healthcare workers, absolutely. So many things to be grateful for today. Good to see you. Tyler just joins. Wonderful. I think something I'm grateful for today is honestly our car. I know that sounds like a weird gratitude, but yesterday Tara and I took a little drive. We got out of the house, and I was just grateful for the freedom to be able to go out and take a little drive and get out of our 800 square foot space and just see the world and see people. Even though we had the barrier in the car, we felt like we were in our little bubble. It was good just to engage with that, and I'm grateful for that vehicle with 4 wheels. Now, if we can only get those things to be environmentally cleaner, that would be great.
Yes. Side note, there are no weird gratitudes, dude. You're grateful, you're grateful.
Yes, I know.
You know?
It's true.
It
Thank
can
you.
be down to the very littlest things, you know?
I think that's true. I'm be grateful for this pen, this steel cod pen. Steel cod. It's just a great pen, and I love it. So we're going to use that thing. All right. Good to see you all. Thank you for adding your gratitudes, and we're going to get right to the lesson today. And the lesson today is on perspective. And I think I don't know if you saw this, but Tara had some fun with the sign. Perspective.
The little things.
It's the little things. I don't know who noticed it. I'm sure everyone noticed it. I was pumped when she did it.
You gotta keep yourself on your toes during this.
You do. You have to. What you put in. So perspective is such a powerful force. And we've been talking this week. This is kind of our foundation lessons. This week we talked about gratitude, something you have to launch your life every day using gratitudes, focusing on what you do have. We talked about setting positive habits, not just a goal and having motivation, but create an actual schedule for when you're going to take action, at what time, in what place, your implementation intention. Yesterday, it's all about just controllables and uncontrollables, getting in the present when you start to creep into the past or the future and your train of thoughts scattered. And I think the final foundational piece of living an empowered life is just understanding how to gain better perspective. And in a time like this, it's all about perspective. I think perspective can change a situation that, when the situation can't be changed in and of itself, a little change in perspective can completely put your mind in a new place. I'm going to give a little story. Last year, I attempted a 100-mile ultramarathon, and I had done one 2 years ago, so a year before that, and I completed it. It was a huge life vision, and I set so many implementation intentions to create the habits to train for it. I ended up running over the course of a year almost 2,000 miles of training. Got to the start line, felt great. Thanks to my coach, Joe McConaughey. He was able to train me, and my body coach at TB12, Brian Hart, and my support system of Tara. I got that 100 miles down, and it was awesome. Finished in 22 hours. And then I got hooked, and I was like, let's go. Let's get after it. I'm going to train for another 100 miler. And I signed up for one. It was in May of 2019, and I trained. I hadn't trained better for that than any other race. It was unbelievable. I was going crazy. Ultimately, long story short, I got to start line, felt great, went out into this 100-mile ultra marathon and had a lot of issues. I had issues upstairs. I had issues from the neck down. Everything was just falling apart in my head, in my mentality, in my body was breaking down in the race. I didn't plan well for the race. So many things went wrong. And ultimately, I had to drop out of the race after 75 miles. I've had a lot of people since then be like, you still ran 75 miles. I get that. But in my head, my expectation, I've already done 100. I can do another 100. This race had a huge negative impact on me. And I ultimately stopped running after this. I just hung up ultra marathoning and running in general. I donated my shoes to the Salvation Army. I just said, that's it. I don't want to run anymore. I packed it up. I just put myself in a little running cocoon. I shut everyone out in my life that's a part of my running life. And it was a weird thing to go through. I think of myself as a tree. And this is where the lesson and the technique comes in. I often think of myself as a tree. And I know we all have weird analogies for who we are, but maybe none of them are weird. But my analogy for how I think of myself is always as a tree. Got strong roots, got some branches. I like just the concept of a tree. I'm giving off good vibes, oxygen for other people when I can, trying to take in people's bad stuff. And in this certain case, after I didn't complete this really huge vision I set for myself, I thought of myself as the tree in the forest that got struck by lightning. This was me after that 75-mile DNF, a do not finish. I thought my whole world was just falling apart. And it was a tough time. So here's the technique for you. When you're going through something tough, when life is hard, when you're facing a challenge, when you get hurt mentally, emotionally, physically, get a major injury, or just anything in your life is a huge roadblock, I want you to use a technique I use called the nut and the forest. So when you're feeling like your own personal self is struck in half and you become shards of splintered tree all over the forest floor and you don't know how to get up and you're just in a real dark, gloomy place, I like to change the perspective to nut and forest. And what nut and forest means is the forest is a way to step really far back. Perspectives about two things, getting really far back and realizing that the one tree in our overall forest of life that may get struck by lightning is not that bad. Seeing the big picture. And am I really just one tree, or am I the entire forest? And is this one tree simply a piece of a massive, massive forest puzzle? And it's really not a big deal. And the other thing that you can use for the tools, I call the nut. I think of going really deep into the smallest part of my perspective, where this tree getting struck down in my life, this 175-mile DNF, is really just an opportunity, a little hole in the forest, a space in the forest for a new nut to take root and grow into a new tree. And I use this all the time. Anytime I'm facing a challenge, anytime something's really hard, I first look at the big picture and be like, is this really that big of a deal in the grand scheme of the forest, one tree? And then I look at it from the smallest perspective. Can this little nut now take root because this tree got destroyed and is now gone, and we create a space for something new to grow?
That reminds me of a quote.
Go for it. A starred thought from Tara.
I don't know if it's a starred thought, but it's a quote. Okay, starred thought. Oh, now I'm on the spot and I'm going to forget it. Hold on. The mightiest oak in the forest was just a little nut that held its ground. As the mightiest oak in the forest was just a little nut that held its ground. I think I'm saying that right. I got that in a fortune cookie once, and I now live my life by that.
And that's what it's all about. So
I'll
maybe
say it one more time.
Yeah,
you said to say it in threes last time.
Threes
I only said it twice. The mightiest oak in the forest was a little nut that held its ground.
I love that.
I think I said it a little differently each time.
That's it.
Yeah.
My new life mantra. That's it.
Yeah.
I've been wanting.
You're just a little nut that's holding its ground.
When your tree gets destroyed, maybe it's just opening up space for your new little nut to take root. So what is it about this situation in life and what we're facing here with the circumstances around our new reality with the coronavirus? Can we find bigger perspective to look at it from and realize that maybe this, in the grand scheme of our entire life, may not be that problematic? And then can you find the opportunity in this? What is the space this is opening up? What nut are you planting in this whole thing that can now grow because of the space that this new circumstance has opened up? And you never really know in life. You never really know how one thing is leading to the next. Something seemingly bad can always turn into something seemingly good, and vice versa. So to try and predict our future happiness and try and predict our future sadness is pretty much futile. Just let things go as they're going to be and just focus on the present moment. We're going to leave you today with a little story about this, which one of my favorite parables of all time. The farmer and his horse. There was a farmer, he owned great land, and he had this magnificent horse that did a ton of work to keep the land going. And one day, the horse ran away, just escaped from the farm. All the townspeople came running to the farmer and said, "Farmer, farmer, we heard about your horse. That's terrible news." And the farmer said, "We'll see." A few days passed, and all of a sudden, the horse came back to the farm, and it had met a whole bunch of new horses, and the horses followed him back, and now the farmer owned 5 horses. 5 horses. And all the townspeople came running to the farmer and said, "Farmer, farmer, we heard you gained 5 new horses. That's incredible news." And the farmer said, "We'll see." And then one day, the farmer's son was tending to the new horse, trying to tame it to work on the farm, and the new horse kicked him in the arm and shattered his arm and broke the farmer's son's arm. And all the townspeople came running to the farmer. "Farmer, we heard about your son's arm. That's terrible news." And the farmer said, "We'll see." And then a few days later, the world was in a world war and the military came to the farmer's house and said, we're looking to recruit your son for the military to fight on the front lines. And they took one look at the farmer's son and his mangled arm and said, yeah, sorry, you won't be joining us on the front lines of the war. And all the townspeople came running to the farmer and said, Farmer, we heard that your son was spared from the war. That's great news. And the farmer simply said, we'll see. You never know how one thing is leading to the next. So find your opportunities today and through these new circumstances. This is just maybe the forest clearing space for a new nut to take hold and grow into your next new tree. So with that, we're going to say we hope you have a great rest of your day. We are going to end with a little emoji send-off is a new thing we want to do, an emoji send-off. So before we do our 1,000 bonus points, we want you to put in your favorite emoji of the day.
No, wait.
Oh, wait. Tara's got it.
We discussed this. This is the one thing that we planned.
I need to be throwing frisbees too. I need to
know.
go out.
Okay. So our emoji send-off, we just want you all to send us your favorite color heart emoji. Remember, we're focused on the heart today.
Yes.
It's okay.
That's right.
This is why we don't plan things, because when we plan things, it doesn't go very well.
Yeah, we wing this every day.
Yeah. Ooh, you got a blue one.
I love it. The blue hearts. Look at all the pink hearts. I love that. The double hearts.
Oh, yellow.
Ethan Weissman with the yellow, the red, the yellows are yellow's an underrated color.
Oh, what's that
It's
heart?
an underrated
It's like
color.
a highlighted heart from Lexi.
Fantastic.
Blue. Oh,
Oh, look at all the hearts.
beautiful. Oh, I just love the heart.
HSG 71 with the double pink heart.
That's a heart with a wrapping.
Nick
with a
Martin's
bow.
one with the bow heart. I love that.
Pretty. All
I
right.
love that. So thank you for the emoji send-off. Couple quick notes before we give our 1,000 bonus points. Schools are going to be not starting up, but a lot of schools are now going to be getting into online learning next week. So therefore, this 9 o'clock, what you put in time slot, a lot of students across Massachusetts at least are going to have to be engaged with school. So we're going to have to change our time. We're going to be putting a poll in our Instagram story later of what time you would prefer what you put in to change to, because we're keeping it going. We are keeping it going. We're taking this to another level next week. So check that out. Please vote on a good time for what you put in. And with that,
Give us a little time to post that too, because we have to figure out how to make an Instagram poll first.
oh, I tried it yesterday.
Oh, you know how?
I learned some things.
Okay,
man.
I'm going to
learned some
learn how to
things.
make an Instagram poll today. I'm
I
very
learned some
excited.
things.
Okay.
So we're going to put that up. I'll teach you.
Thank you.
That will be part of our day.
Thank you.
And
Put it on the schedule.
for our 1,000 bonus points, Lexi, you got to put it in after we say
we
it.
say it.
So first one after we say it. Tara, you say it today.
All right, ready for 1,000 bonus points that you can do absolutely nothing with. What you put in is... I love that one's upside down, but I didn't say
I know,
it.
but she didn't say it yet. They got preemptive. It's after she says it. Who can get it in with the lag?
Let's
Half
get
squat.
out.
Half
I think
squat
that's Cooper.
wins.
Cooper, are you half squat? Cooper.
Cooper is he half
Is he
squat?
half squat?
I don't know. Half squat got it though. What you put in is what you get
It's
out.
what you get out.
And we are.
All right, I gotta throw it out there though to Noah. I'm gonna give you 500 bonus points because you put it in upside down. All about that perspective.
Perspective,
so I
man.
love it. Yes, Cooper is half squat. Good job, Coop.
Try not to be the tree. Try to be either the forest, look at it through that lens, or the nut. The big or the small.
Be the little nut and hold your ground because we got this.
Thank you all for tuning in to What You Put In. Have a great rest of your day. Make the most of it. And check our stories for updates. We'll see you soon. Life is all about what you put in.
Oh, got it.
Little DMB.